Verb tenses, past, present, and future. Suppose you must give an oral presentation about what you did last summer. How do you make it clear that you are talking about the past and not about the present or the future? Using the correct verb tense can help you do this. It is always important to use the proper verb tense. Otherwise, your listener might judge you harshly. Mistakes in tense often leave a listener or reader with a negative impression. Regular verbs. Verbs indicate actions or states of being in the past, present, or future using tenses. Regular verbs follow regular patterns when shifting from the present to past tense. For example, to form a past tense or past participle form, add ed or d to the end of a verb. You can avoid mistakes by understanding this basic pattern. Verb tenses identifies the time of action described in a sentence. Verbs take different forms to indicate different tenses. Verb tenses often indicate an action or state of being in the present, an action or state of being in the past, an action or state of being in the future. Helping verbs such as be and have also work to create verb tenses such as the future tense. So present tense, Tim walks to the store, singular subject. Present tense, Sue and Kimmy walked to the store, plural subject. Past tense, yesterday they walked to the store for milk, plural subject. Future tense, tomorrow Kimmy will walk to the store to buy some bread, singular subject. Irregular verbs. The past tense of irregular verbs is not formed using the patterns that regular verbs follow. The best way to learn irregular verbs is to memorize them. With the help of a classmate, create flashcards of irregular verbs and test yourselves until you master them. And for me, I had to memorize irregular verbs in late middle school. And I remember everyone had to recite this. So be, was, were, became, become, became, begin, began, begun, blew, blow, blown, break, broke, broken, bring, brought, brought, build, built, built, burst, 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 buy, bought, bought, catch, caught, caught, choose, chose, chosen, come, came, came, cut, 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 dive, dove, doved or dived, do, did, done, draw, drew, drawn, drink, drank, drunk, drive, drove, driven, eat, ate, eaten, fall, fell, fallen, feed, fed, fed, feed, felt, felt, fight, fought, fought, find, found, found, fly, flew, flown, forget, forgot, forgotten, forgive, forgave, forgiven, freeze, froze, frozen, get, got, gotten, give, gave, given, go, went, gone, grow, grew, grown, have, had, hear, heard, heard, hid, hidden, hold, held, hurt, keep, kept, know, knew, known, lay, laid, lain, lead, led, know, left, leave, left, let, lose, lost, make, made, mean, meant, meet, met, pay, paid, put, quit, read, ride, rode, ridden, ring, rang, rung, rise, rose, risen, run, ran, run, say, said, see, saw, seek, sought, sell, sold, send, sent, set, shake, shook, shaken, shine, shone, shrink, shrank, shrunk, sing, sang, sung, sit, sat, sleep, slept, speak, spoke, spoken, spent, spring, sprang, sprung, stand, stood, steal, stole, stolen, strike, struck, swim, swam, swum, swing, swung, take, took, taken, where am I? Teach, taught, tear, tore, torn, tell, told, think, thought, throw, threw, thrown, understand, understood, wake, woke, woken, wear, wore, worn, win, won, wine, wind, wound. Yeah, so I remember memorizing all of that in late middle school. and everybody had to go out in front of the class, and everyone had to do the whole list. And if you didn't do the whole list, the teacher would give you an F. So that I remember standing, going swing, swung, swung, grew, grown, and stuff like that. Yeah, to memorize that. They also have a song on YouTube where you can actually sing this, and it sounds like it's really cool. It's all rhymed and stuff. Anyway, present tense. Lauren keeps all her letters. And then what makes these irregular is that you cannot form the past tense simply by adding ed. So whenever you have a irregular verb, whenever you have a verb that cannot form the past tense simply by adding ed, then it's an irregular verb. Whenever you have a verb, you form the past tense and you can add ed, that's a regular verb. So a regular verb would be I walked, she talked, or something like that. Anything that can add an ed at the end of like the past tense, then that's how you could tell it's a regular verb. As soon as you have, this is not an ed verb. You can't say I drawed. You can't say I drived. You can't say I eated. No, and you can't say I falled. So in all of these, you cannot say I feeded or whatever. So all of these verbs, you can't just add an ed. So these verbs are all irregular. And yeah, you just got to memorize them. And it's really hard for ELL, English language learners, to memorize it. Maintaining a consistent verb tense means the same verb tense is used throughout a sentence or a paragraph. As you write and revise, it is important to use the same verb tense consistently and to avoid shifting from one tense to another unless there is a good reason for the tense shift. In the following box, see whether you notice the difference between a sentence with consistent tense and one with inconsistent tense. So the inconsistent tense isn't correct. You don't write like this in your essay. So that's why you have to maintain a consistent verb tense. So if you start the sentence in present tense, then all of the verbs in that sentence have to be in present tense. If you start the sentence with a past tense, then everything's got to be in past tense. Otherwise, if you have inconsistent verb tense, your sentence is wrong. And so you will get an X and 0 credit. So this is wrong, inconsistent tense. The crowd starts cheering as Melina approached the finish line. No, the correct one is the crowd starts cheering as Melina approaches the finish line. So you either have it both as present tense or you can have it both as past tense. Okay? And so here, the crowd starts cheering as Melinda approaches the finish line. So always maintain consistent verb tense. In some cases, clear communication will call for different tenses. Look at the following example. When I was a teenager, I wanted to be a firefighter, but now I am studying computer science. If the time frame for each action or state is different, a tense shift is appropriate. Usually, you could tell of a tense, if you're going to use different tenses in a sentence, you usually use some kind of a contrastive coordinating conjunction or some kind of transition word which denotes that suddenly there's going to be a change in tense. A lot of it is, especially if you're going to use something like suddenly, the earthquake, I am eating my dinner. Suddenly, the earthquake erupted, or suddenly the volcano erupted. And then you have an abrupt change of tense using suddenly. So yes, if you're going to be dramatic, then yes, you could have a sudden change in shift of tense. That's why we don't change the tenses in a sentence, because it's a jolting kind of a whoa. And writers do it, but they're doing it for like some kind of dramatic effect, okay? And so here, if you're going to start out, most people lived in the Middle Ages. Most people lived in villages. So here it starts out as past tense. Everything else is going to be past tense. Every verb, everything, past tense. I would like to highlight an important concern that comes up after our meeting last week. And so would like is past tense. So therefore, it's past conditional tense. Therefore, everything that comes after that also needs to be in the past tense. So whatever you started out with, and that way you have consistent verb tense. And so key takeaways. Verb tense helps you express when an event takes place. Regular verbs follow regular patterns when shifting from present to past tense. Irregular verbs do not follow regular predictable patterns when shifting from present to past tense. Using consistent verb tense is a key element in effective writing. And so that's it for this video. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to the Professor H writing channel. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at any time.